Are we live?
Well, we're live. It was a short intro this morning. It was the 1 minute intro. We got a lot to do. It's Halloween week. It is the week before SEMA. I don't know what else it is, but there's a lot. It's a lot going on. Fall is here. The weather is turning on us, and it is time for has to have Bead Maker and coffee.
There we
More
go.
have more coffee.
More coffee.
More coffee.
Um,
More
you know,
Archie
it's
discussion.
it's dark. I can tell it's dark there too. I feel like
Very
this is maybe the first episode where it's been pitch black. Always the hardest episode of the year. And this does make sense. I do feel like it's always right before SEMA,
Yep.
but it is pitch black outside. I went to um get coffee and it was extra pitch black.
Yeah,
Extra.
it was a tough wake up this morning. It was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't busted out my flannel yet, but I did wear my Beer Mule sweatshirt today that is from our Monterey trip.
Yep.
So what do we got going on?
We're still a little stunned that it's still dark outside, folks. So help us through this.
I feel like we could go back and look at every year the episode before SEMA and it would be the same, like deer in the headlights, right? Like, what are we doing? I know for me, I have a ton of stuff to get ready this week. So I'm actually only working a couple hours or a couple days this week. I have a coding today, which is a crazy story I'll talk about later. But the rest of the days, I'm just going to plan on, all my laundry and, getting stuff packed. I've got to pack up the thing we see behind us right here, right? The
The
fragrance
bar.
bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta pull all of that out and just get all my clothes ready and all that kind of stuff. So I decided to take a couple days off this week just to gather my thoughts. And then the main reason is because every year right before SEMA and or the beginning of SEMA is Tristan's birthday. And so this weekend, I don't really have time to pack this weekend because we are celebrating his birthday. His birthday is actually on Monday, the day that I leave. So he's turning 17. 17.
17, a
Yeah.
driver,
Yeah.
a Subaru driver.
A Subaru driver. Yeah. Uh,
Who it takes after his mother when it comes to wear and tear on tires.
yeah. Yeah, tires are an issue. But I think we're done with football. He was supposed to have a state play-in this week, but I think he's bowing out. I think he's bowing out. So I think we're
Well,
done with football
it
for the
is
year.
daylight somewhere in Massachusetts. Ron, good to see you, as well as our friend Frank.
Hi,
Frank,
Frank.
morning from Pittsburgh. So you guys actually have daylight there.
Mhm.
Michigan, good to see you, Mr. Seiler Sales. Did you get our gift bag? Because I did send him some toys. So
Nice.
want to congratulate Ryan Seiler. He has taken and moved his shop a little bit, not far. But what he's done is he's built an entire showroom for products. So he's building out a
Nice.
training center. He's doing some fun stuff. And congrats to
Nice.
Ryan and the family there.
That's
Hopefully we'll see
awesome.
you at SEMA.
He said later he says he can't come.
Well, I guess we
Yeah.
got to go there. There you go. Hello from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Questions already. We haven't even done our product.
Wow.
One question, we'll
Nice.
come back to the program.
Okay,
What's
let's
the
do
difference
that.
between dynamic, shine all, rubber, and vinyl shine? Thank you. Well, they all smell different. There's that. They are different colors. They are all dressings that are good for the interior. But
I wouldn't use Shine All on the interior. Now
no,
that we've
they're
had like
safe
that
for it,
formula
but they're
change,
not.
yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah.
updated the formula of Shine All about, I don't know, a year and a half ago or so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't probably use it on the interior now. But the other two you could. Wouldn't you say here, because I'm not really into like the science side, I'm just into the what does it mean to use it side, right? So wouldn't you say that dynamic is just a newer technology
Yeah.
in
So
raw
the
materials?
the
I mean,
siloxane and the emulsifier in it, according to Dave,
mhm,
allow us to dilute that product if you buy the gallon. It's
yeah,
concentrate, so 4 to 1,
yeah,
without it, diluting unevenly. A lot of times dressings, because they don't
mhm,
emulsify well, they turn into cottage cheesy looking things, or they don't dilute
yeah,
evenly. Dynamic does for sure.
yeah, yeah,
Um, Chinol's probably more on a deep, rich gloss as opposed to a
yeah,
shiny gloss. And I like you, I would probably just leave that on tires, although you could do exterior trim with it.
yeah,
And rubber and vinyl shine's kind of just an old school universal dressing, not too high shine, not too low.
mhm, yeah,
Probably more a trim and interior dressing that you would have to buff out the interior after,
right.
than it is a tire dressing. So, um,
Yeah, Dynamic has a little bit more of self-leveling ability than the other 2.
quite a bit more.
Um,
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
difference with the siloxane on that for sure.
yeah, so Dynamic, you could obviously dilute to your liking as far as the shine, but it's gonna self-level, it's going to, dry to a dry to the touch feel. It's gonna be a little bit more versatile. You can spray it on wheels, so if you get it on wheels or the paint, it's gonna wipe right off, whereas Shine All, like Keith said, is gonna be a very nice, dark, rich black. It's gonna have a really nice look to it, but it's not maybe gonna be as easy to clean off of other surfaces, just because of the way that it delivers. So, all have great purposes. I will say Dynamic is my favorite in that trio. But I know that when I first started using PNS, I definitely used the rubber and vinyl shine quite a bit. But then, just like, obviously I was, paying attention to products and stuff, and I always wanted to use the latest and greatest. And so Dynamic just has newer technology as far as its delivery system. So,
Yeah. I would say dynamic is can be thinner if you dilute it out, but even at its regular full strength, it's pretty even to spray. It sprays
yeah,
well. So does
yeah,
rubber and vinyl shine. Uh,
yeah.
Shine-All is a little thicker product, and so
Hmm.
sometimes I would recommend putting that in a ketchup bottle, using a brush or an applicator, and putting
Hmm.
that on a tire would be kind of my
Yeah,
way to go with it. But you can spray Shine All for sure. It's a little thicker emulsion.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right. So let before we get to the next comment, because we're going to go down the
We got
rabbit
a
hole.
lot of good people coming in this morning.
I know we do.
I'm
Um,
excited.
and nobody better than our next one, Mr. Phillips. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Bob.
What was your product of the week last week, Sydney? What was
Oh,
your
goodness.
savior of the week?
Okay, so you're gonna love this because I don't think I ever talk about it because, I like clean cars. I like them to come in already clean, right? So even
Yeah.
though I think the unsung hero of the PNS lineup is the carpet system, I rarely use it. Right? Because I don't like dirty cars. But last week I had a couple cars. I had 2 specifically. One that had, well, no, actually I had 3 that I used it on. That was a lot. That was like a whole year's check mark. Um,
Yeah.
so first I had that Ferrari that I had to get ready to sell. So, that's
Right.
very fragile carpet. It's from 1984, very fragile. The color has to be, the integrity has to stay there. That was one thing that I think with any other carpet system, I would have been nervous because you can really like mess up that carpet. It's like that, kind of
Yeah.
beige, whatever. So used the carpet system on that, flawless, turned out perfect, looked like it was 1984. And then I had a smoker's car that had been purchased for a kid in the neighborhood, 16-year-old, for their birthday this weekend. And so those ones are always, they kind of tug at my heart because obviously my
Right.
mom, we know that I have, really high standards for my kids' cars and stuff like that. I'm very worried about cleanliness and safety. And so this particular car, I just literally threw the book at it. I wanted it to be perfect for this child that I've never met. And so I wanted to get all of the smoke out of the carpets, the headliner, everything. And so, doused everything in the carpet system, used my steamer, used an extractor, which is like a once a year thing. And oh man, I almost didn't even have to run the odor dock. Like, it did such a great job. The water was black, like black,
Ooh,
black.
yeah.
But I hardly used any water. So obviously I just used Absolute to kind of rinse it and then really use that to suck it out. But the carpet system, not only did it get the smoke out, but it also got all the dirt out. And then the next day I had to use it on an F-150 that was a farm truck. And so really put the carpet system to work this week. And I mean, I know it's good, right? We do trainings with it. I see it. I know it. I 100% know that it's a fantastic system and that there's nothing better. But this week, I don't often get to really put it to the test in my shop, and especially 3 days in a row. So definitely my hero this week was the carpet system, including the finisher. I still see people argue about this, whether it's necessary or not. And I was on the Rag Company Q&A last week, and in the comments, they were like, it's not necessary. And I was just like, all these people with chemistry degrees, but the finisher made all the difference.
Yeah.
So what I
No.
did was I cleaned everything, and since I had to use the extractor, I don't like to use water. So what I did then was I sprayed it with the finisher, and then I went and laid them in the sun, the mats, and it was so great. I mean, you could literally pick the mat up and put it to your nose, and you couldn't smell anything.
Right.
So yeah, it was great.
And
Carpet
you've seen me
system.
do it 100 times. I always hold
Oh
that
yeah,
mat up and stick it in everybody's
yeah,
nose when we do
yeah,
the demo because it
yeah.
really is about the odor neutralization. And I think, a lot of folks don't give a peroxide type product the
Yeah,
credit it's due. It
yeah,
really does kill the mold and
mhm,
mildew smell, and it certainly does prevent us from
yeah,
having resoiling issues. Um,
yeah,
it's a
really
necessary
great.
step. If you're not
Yeah,
doing it, I think
you should try it.
I'm going to give you the 3 week
Yeah,
challenge. Detail
yeah,
cars for 3 weeks and use the
yeah,
finisher, and then
mhm,
tell me it doesn't make a difference. But
yeah,
give us a shot,
yeah,
folks, because it's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I'm torn as well because I did a training last week in Denver, which shout out to Aaron Layton and his team at Focus Car Wash Solutions. Great
mhm,
event, wonderful students, learned a ton.
mhm,
Again, I had customers in, they were using the carpet system, but they weren't using the finisher. So we got them on
yeah,
the finisher, but we
nice.
got them on the pre-addictive product, which is the release.
Release,
Because we had
yeah,
a pet hair rig and we had a Subaru. And if you
nice.
know anything about
Yeah,
Subarus and the back end of those
mhm,
things,
yeah,
that carpet doesn't let go of anything.
no,
It is like a
no,
Klingon. So
yeah,
um, worked great for us too. The release
mhm,
was the hero there. It just made a huge difference. And then,
mhm,
of course, you never can go wrong with rehab. And we were able to
mhm,
knock out, finicky Subaru paint
mhm,
with rehab and a blueberry pad in one
mhm.
step, which was pretty
Nice,
impressive. So those are my products of the
nice.
week last week. You had an
Sweet.
event last week. I had an event last week. So
Yeah.
how was Saturday with Connor?
Yeah, I saw a comment coming up, so I was definitely gonna mention that. So Saturday, I went to, Connor, MVP Detailing Supply here in Boise. He had his 2-year anniversary, which I cannot believe it's already been 2 years, so
Yeah.
awesome. And it was great, and I felt so bad because we had, like, 70, 80 degrees all last week, it was beautiful, and then Saturday, monsoon. Absolute monsoon. It was dark the whole day. He was supposed to have, like, 6 or 7, supercars there and stuff, and so I felt so bad, but he still had a fantastic turnout. When I walked in, the store was packed, and it was kind of fun. There was a lot of familiar faces, a lot of guys that had been in the classes and stuff that I've done, but specifically, it was funny. There's always, like, the test where you go, "I was just tested and I wasn't really," it's funny how you see how you answer, and there was a kid in there, and I say kid because he's 18, that had come to visit me at my shop last week, wanting to, do mobile detailing, wanted to kind of pick my brain. I spent about 2 hours with him just chatting early last week, and then I told him about the event, and when I walked in, he was standing at the cash register. So he came and grabbed me and said, "Okay, take me through the store and tell me the things you would not live without." And I was like, "Oh, here we go." You know,
So
I had to think like, "Okay, what if I was 18 years old and putting myself back in, every dollar counts, what are we gonna buy?" And so I do have to mention there was 2 things that I said, "You can't leave without these today." One was Rags to Riches. He
yep.
had never heard about it. I knew he had just invested in a bunch of Rag Company towels, and so I was like, okay, we're not making any mistakes with our towels. You spent too much on them. So we did Rags to Riches, and then the second one that I was, there was things like Iron Buster and stuff where I was like, okay, we can wait a couple weeks on that. We can wait a couple weeks on that. He's going to come to the class that I want to do in November, and so I said we can wait till class on that. And then we got to the Clarity Cream, and I said, okay, this is the other one. This is the other one you're not leaving without today. Because I said, you don't need a polisher. You can use it by hand. It's going to make all the difference for your customers immediately. It's going to set you apart. This is the one that's going to set you apart from other detailers
Yeah.
in your finished look. And so those were the two. And so it's funny when you look back and go, that's so funny to be put in that position of like, what can you not leave without today? But I'm also not going to make him spend $250, right? It was like, what are two
No.
things that are going to make an impression on this kid? And it was Rags to Riches and Clarity Cream.
Well, and I got to tell you, everybody, our viewing audience, a little secret. There is nothing, and we do, I don't know how many events we do a year between us, Sid, but there's
Mhm.
nothing that you and I enjoy more than actually being a personal shopper in our
Oh,
customer stores. I mean, it
100%.
is the best
Sign
thing
me up.
ever.
Yeah,
We go to
totally.
Budco, and it's like we each
Oh,
take
yeah,
turns rotating up
right.
front. I'm going to go be a personal shopper for somebody,
Yeah,
and even
yeah,
if we're not helping them buy our product, we're helping them, navigate the store, get the product they
yeah,
need, really
yeah,
guide them through their journey. Because some folks are like, I just want to do it myself. Some are
yeah,
on a new detailer, some are on like super veteran detailer. I know exactly what I like, but I have a
yep,
problem.
yeah,
Nothing we like more than being a personal shopper, and it is
yeah,
the best ever
yeah,
thing. So that was cool.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then, obviously last week I was at Focused for a
Hmm.
couple of days to visit them, which was great. And then
Hmm.
you mentioned we have a couple of classes coming up. So at the end of the show, we'll talk about those because
Yeah.
they are two of our favorite people to go see. And
Hmm.
I'm totally bummed you're not coming with me to the first one, but we'll be
I
together for that.
know. Gosh, we've got to get that at a different time of year. That is like my dream. I told Keith, I just want to go ride on a truck for a day. It's like my dream, but it's my daughter's birthday, so it's not going to happen. She's turning 20. It's the last one before I may never see her again.
That's a whole story by itself. Let's bring into the next feed that just
Yeah.
happened for the disappearance of Delaney.
Yeah.
Speaking of
But yeah,
disappearances, she made an appearance on the detail grind last week, which
she
was great.
did.
Her
Yeah.
and Doer, thank you
Yeah.
guys for having her on. It was fun to watch. I
Yeah.
got to see
It was
most.
a great episode. Great episode.
Well, good morning, Todd. Christopher Todd Robertson. He is not going to be at SEMA, man. I was so
Darn.
hoping to catch up with you because he made a jump
Yeah.
to a new position, and I was really hoping that would get him to SEMA this year. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll
Darn it.
catch up with him on the East Coast this year.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, Kirby. Yes, it'll be darker next week. Thanks for the reminder. I don't think it can get any more depressingly dark than
Mhm.
it is now. So,
Yep. Yep. But we are heading to Vegas where it's going to be dark every morning when we leave.
well, but
Look
it's
who
Vegas, so
woke
those
up.
strip lights are on all night, so it'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. True. True.
Speaking of the
Joey
Detail Grind podcast,
Polinsky.
there you
Yes.
go.
Thanks for getting up this morning, bud.
Good
Love
morning,
it.
Sarah.
Good morning, Sarah.
Yeah. All right. Wish we could be at SEMA this year, but new shop took longer than expected to build. But there's always
Yep.
next year. Yes, there is.
Yep.
Ryan, as we talked about, I think when you started that process, just take your budget and double it and then add 1.5 times the amount of time it'll take. And there you go.
Oh, Kirby says it's going to get light earlier, but dark earlier. That's right, because we do have that silly. I thought they outlawed that. I
Well,
thought we
some
weren't
states
doing
have
any of
gone
that
away
anymore.
from it and some haven't. Arizona
Man,
doesn't do it. I
I
thought
thought, I
California
thought,
voted
I
it
thought
out, and I think
Idaho
Oregon
said
did.
no go. Yeah, I thought Idaho said no too, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to check on that because I thought last year when this happened, they said this is the last year we're doing it. So, or
Yeah.
maybe it was in April we were told, yeah, but we're not doing like fall back anymore. So I'm gonna have to check on that. But I guess I did. Yeah, it's next week, right? That always
Yeah.
just throws everybody off. Yeah.
Well, I think their standard time and their savings daylight savings time.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
when we go back to standard time, it's not going to change again. So I don't know which one we're on. Time is not my friend on that one. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
I don't know.
all right. Good morning, Mr. Oleski.
Good
How are
morning,
you, brother?
Thomas. Man, I wish we were gonna see him at SEMA. I don't think
I
he's
do
making it
too, man.
either.
I'm bummed.
Yeah.
Andy, good morning.
Good morning, Andy. Man, Andy took a jump last week. I know he's got all kinds of questions for us, but Andy took a jump and switched to the rehab orange free ride system. And he was quite nervous about it, but I think it paid off for him. So we'll let him talk about that later. But
I love
I
the
know he's,
orange pad, so there we go.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, Billy Stutz, haven't
Okay,
seen you on the show in
Billy
a long time.
Stutz.
Greetings from Cheyenne.
So funny that Billy's checking in. I was just thinking about Billy the other day, like literally yesterday, and was like, man, I haven't heard from him forever. I need to check in. So hi, Billy. Thanks for being here this morning. I was truly worried, not worried, but wanted to
We
check in
hadn't
on
heard
you.
from him in a bit, and I was
Yeah, I
wondering
wanted to
what
check in
happened to
on you. I knew you could
him.
take care of yourself, but I wanted to check in on you.
Well,
Gabriel.
and I'm glad that he checked in with us because I bet he's been having a grind going, and he's got his nose, in the work instead of in the
Yeah, well,
internet.
he moved out of his garage this year and into a shop, so I've been worried
That's a
about him
lift.
on, you know yeah, yeah. So, thanks for checking in. Josh Pierce, good
Our
morning.
guy,
I wore
our guy,
I wore my
Josh.
beer mule shirt for you, Josh. Josh actually bought me this when we were at Beer Mule, so I wore
I
it
wore
thinking
mine
of
this
him
weekend
today.
to do my special lighting project this year. So
Yes, I'm
yeah,
excited to see Josh next week.
I am too. I cannot wait to see Mr. Josh. All right, who we got here? Was super impressed by Delaney on the
Ah,
podcast. Yes,
Andy,
yes,
yes, yeah. She did a good job.
she
Did a
did.
good job.
She gave
Yeah.
her mom lots of credit, so that's always good.
Well, truth be told, my the most nervous thing that I saw coming up in the questions was somebody asked, "What would you do differently than your
Yeah.
mom did?" And I went, "Oh no." And so she didn't miss a beat. She goes, "Nothing." And she was so like, "No, I wouldn't change a thing." And then we had to rush to Tristan's football game right after the podcast, and she started laughing. She goes, "Okay, there was a couple things."
You
So she
can't say
she
that
did.
and not tell us what they are. So we're gonna have
Oh,
to
no,
hear
I'm not
that
telling you
story.
what they are. No, that's a different show, but, it was pretty funny, though. She was like and no, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. It was we talked a lot about when I first opened up my business and, like, there was certainly mistakes made, doing too much, not getting paid, working too hard, not being careful with my body. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, we talked about that and some other things, but it was, she did kind of laugh and was like, well, I wasn't going to like throw you under the bus. And I'm like, well, I throw myself under the bus all the time on that, but I get it.
Right.
And she was like, well, I didn't, she goes, I don't remember that time. She goes, I don't remember you being miserable and she goes, I don't remember that. She goes, I just always thought you worked so hard. And she goes, I didn't know how hard it was for you. So she goes, I wouldn't say that because I didn't know, she was like, I'm
Right.
not going to call you out on that because I didn't know, which is good.
Right.
It's good that
Because
my
you did
kids
your
didn't
job
see
as a
that.
mom.
Yeah,
They didn't know.
right.
So
Yeah.
good morning, John. Um,
Good morning, John.
so Joey brings this up, and I'm just gonna throw this out because we're gonna get this question. We don't have a new product
I like
listed
the listen.
for.
Listen.
Yeah, okay, listen, Joey. We don't have a new product coming out for SEMA this year because we are really pushing the recovery series system. It's kind of still a new product in package in its own right. But
Mhm.
there are a number of sizes that are on the dais for us to get to, one
Right.
of which is a gallon size of Reflect. So we are
Yeah,
working on some of these special sizings.
for sure.
And I
Yeah.
think maybe those will be our November, December releases this year.
Mhm.
So look for that, but we don't have a gallon of Reflect for you yet. But if you
Joey, I'm
want,
gonna
I'll buy a
yeah,
bunch of pints and pour them into a gallon.
there you go. Maybe we could have Bob and Dave make him a special gallon. Just pour a bunch of pints in and label it. Yeah,
Not my
maybe we
idea,
can
Dave. I didn't bring that up. That's not my idea.
maybe we can put in a request, that I don't know, Black Friday
Ooh.
surprise. Not a
Well,
bad
wouldn't be
idea.
surprised if we release it now. So
Right, but what are the chances, right? Probably pretty low. So if it came out, it'd be a miracle. Be great. And the reason I
well,
say the chances are low, guys, is because it's like 4 weeks away.
right. Yeah, not
Not
because
for
we
anything
can't do it,
other than it's
but
4 weeks away.
right, and we're just socializing this idea now on World Wide
Right.
Web to
Yeah.
everybody because we haven't talked to Bob and Dave about it at all. So there,
There's a thing called logistics.
right. There's also a thing called planning and product development. But
Yeah.
hey, whatever. We got to make it
Whatever.
label. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Here's a question. What is everyone detailing today? I have a Mazda CX-90 crystal wash for decon, absolute rinseless wash is what I assume that will be, and I'll be
Yep.
coating it with stout. Well, that is an awesome combo,
Nice.
Ron.
Love it.
Please tell me it is that ruby red because that is the most
Oh,
beautiful color that ever was put on a car. Mazda makes the best red car.
for sure. For
I will
sure. I
die on
totally
that
agree.
hill. And I have a ruby red Ford, but that is a much better color.
The Mazda one is just
It's
unreal.
just, it looks like candy with stout on it. It really will be awesome.
Yeah, so Ron, I'm actually doing the exact same thing, but here's my story that I was going to tell earlier is I have a Kia Telluride that I've actually coated 3 times. Well, this will be the third time. She bought it 20, I think it's a 2019, whatever the first year the Tellurides came out. Um, and we coated it immediately from the dealership, but we did a 1 year. I can't remember if I used Optimum I don't remember what I used. I mean, it was 7.5 years ago or whatever. And so, or 7 years ago. And so it had a 1 year on it at first. And then about 2 years in, we did another coating. I used Inspiration Classic. That one now is probably 5 years old. It's pretty well dead. But what happened is this customer, since day one, has washed her own car, has never taken it through a car wash.
Mm.
It has looked perfect the whole time, right? So even at 5 years on the Inspiration, there really was not any reason to really redo it. It was fine. And so it was definitely nearing the end of life, but she took it into the dealership, the Ford dealership. Um, I mean, it was Kindle Ford, but they have Kia, and for a recall and something that like she was there with it. It was there like 9.5 minutes, right? For this like spark plug recall. I don't even know what it was. Anyway, they ran it through their car wash. And when I say, don't ever let your car go through a dealership car wash, I mean it. This thing looked like Edward Scissorhands got a hold of it. It was so bad. And so she, right when it came out, she was like, "You guys, my car did not look like this." Like what? And I'm talking like deep scratches. And it was like, I don't know if they used dirty towels to dry it. I mean, there was obviously battering from the brushes, but then the whole thing was just absolutely annihilated. So we spent a couple weeks going back and forth. She came over here right after it happened. I went back through all the pictures that I had showing that the paint has always been perfect. I validated that she's always washed her own car, that we've taken meticulous care of it. She's come in faithfully for 7 years. And so what was nice is we had all that records to back it up and go, you guys just messed up this car big time. And so it was great. And so she got it escalated, and they actually finally approved to completely recoat the polish, paint correct and recoat the car. So we're going to be doing stout on it today, which I'm super excited about. Because we went big, we didn't do the 3-year-old coating from 5 years ago. And so, but now I have to get all those scratches out, which could be a little bit interesting. So,
Well, we had a
but
Telluride the other day at the training center, and
the
as you
paint
said,
is
the
pretty
paint is
favorable. Yeah.
very workable. I mean, it
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we did a blueberry. No, we did a burgundy pad on it, and it worked
Yeah, I'll
really,
probably use
really well.
burgundy. Just yeah, I'll get all those out. But anyway, so Ford is paying for it, and we're doing stout today. So I'm doing that exact same process. So
Cool.
yeah,
Well, hey, 5 years out of Inspiration Classic is a win, no matter what way you look
Y-
at it. So
yeah, and honestly, that's what I mainly see. And I know we always say it's a 3 year, but all of my customers that have inspiration and that we've maintained it, I mean, it's not like super showy or anything, but it's still there. It's still doing its job. It's still protecting the heck out of the paint you know, this one I don't think that really probably even if stout would have been on it and they ran it through this car wash, we would have been having to repair stout. I mean, nothing would have taken the abuse of whatever and I wrote in my thing like you should stop using that car wash. Like you
yeah.
stop.
Well, they probably need some new cloth on it, and it wouldn't hurt to run a little
Yeah.
soap through it. So that's
Yeah.
probably what's
Yeah.
going on there.
Yeah.
Good morning, Aaron. Great to see you. He's not going to be at SEMA either this year, but we'll maybe catch up with him at Southwest Car Wash Show. So
Mhm.
um, Good morning, Chris Lee in McMinnville, down the street from
Good
me. Maybe you should
morning.
come over for coffee one day. We should just hang
Thanks
out.
for checking in, Chris.
Yeah.
And
Shad
Shad
Stoker, what's good?
Stoker.
Everything's good, Shad. Well, as long as you're on the program, we're good.
Shad'll be at SEMA, right?
Yes, he will. Yep.
Good.
Yeah, and Matt and the team. So
He was so busy when we went to Budco, barely got to see him.
okay, so I'm going to answer
Mhm.
this one. Yes, it is a bold move, but if you are doing a service or delivery truck, I highly recommend it on that interior of a cab. They take a beating, and I'm telling you what, the slicker, shinier surface in there you can get, probably the better choice.
The more you can get the grease to not stick to the plastic.
Exactly. So totally different dirt environment. I know for Volkswagen guys, that's not really a thing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Good morning,
Chad.
Chad.
All right. How long do you let release sit on carpets before vac? Not long.
Like a minute, 30 seconds to a minute. Sometimes I go straight in, but I do know it works just a tidge better if you wait a minute. Um, so I mean, if at all, 30 seconds. Sometimes I'll go ahead and spray it, turn around for a minute, do something, then go back and vacuum that section. But you don't have to wait, but I do feel like sometimes it works just a little bit better if you let it sit for a second.
Yeah. I don't want to let it get dry on the surface.
Yeah.
Part of the
No. Yeah.
moisture of it
Right.
gives us a little lubricity when we vacuum. But
Yeah. I don't leave it more than a minute,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah. All right. So Chad is telling us he used Clarity Cream for the first time on a fire truck. Holy cow, this stuff is great. Yes, it is.
Yeah. It's
Yeah. And I can
it's
imagine the water quality
best.
you guys have around the windows on a fire truck is probably not great. So Mr. Medcraft is coming in. It looks like he's been at the gym.
Hi, Alan.
We will not see Alan at SEMA this year either.
No,
But
darn it.
he will be out spreading the good word of PNS all over the world for us this year. So
Nice. We miss you, Alan. Did you freeze, Keith?
oh, no.
Oh, there you are.
Well, I got the notice that says, oops, connection lost, reconnecting. You can't say anything when that happens. So,
Right.
all right.
Phew. Well, you're back.
Yeah.
So you're good.
The host almost left and then came back. So,
yes, this is true too. Joey says finisher is the best before leaving your sneakers out in the sun. Yes, that is totally true. I do that with Tristan's football stuff.
oh, yeah. And that's a whole different category of stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Good morning,
And
you
look
beautiful
who's
people.
here.
We like you on Bucky VW. Loves
Alex, yes, Dewar. We will see Dewar at SEMA. We will.
Yes, we will.
Better late than never. Shout out to DBG for killing it on the Detail Grind podcast. Yes, and go back and rewatch it if you missed it. It's right there on their channel. It's really good.
It is. Yes.
Really good.
Good morning, Matt Hornsby. Good to see you.
Good morning, Matt. Matt I don't know if he got to hug him. If I would have known ahead of time, I would have been like, give him a hug for me. But he got to take a picture with Jason Kelsey, who is my most favorite football player ever.
Yeah.
And I was very jealous of that. But hopefully you gave him a hug, Matt.
Might be a little awkward. I understand if you didn't, especially if you're wearing those tight pants. And if Taylor's around, I get it. I would go for Taylor first. But Sydney is mentoring the next generation of detailers. Yes, she is. She has been the whole time.
Yep.
Whether that be the
Love it.
Delaney or the young man that she was working with last week.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, PNS team. My product of the week was, are you ready? Velocity Glaze, a forgotten product. I had the perfect paint for. Have a fantastic week ahead. And that's Mark Barr, who's in Arizona. Yeah, Velocity Glaze is one of those products that is just it's a great finish out product. Leaves a nice finish on the car. Not a lot of protection there, but it certainly is, as the word would suggest, a glaze, and it does make the car glow pretty well. So
nice.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Cedric. Yes.
Good morning, Jody.
And I assume that's for Tristan.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah,
Probably. Jody, I was gonna say, Jody, are we falling back or are we staying the same? What are we doing here in
right.
Idaho?
You know,
What are we
if you
doing?
want to keep track of time in the world, you talk to a web development guy because time
Yeah.
screws up all
Yeah.
of their stuff. So, yeah,
Yeah.
if anybody's going to know what the time is doing, it's those guys. So, yeah. All right. Frank says, have fun at SEMA. Wish I could be there. We wish you could be there too, Frank, but we understand. We have to do a little bit of a thing at the end of the show. We're going to say the top 4 things that Sydney and I are taking to SEMA this year.
Yeah. Yep.
And I be anything from essentials to just things that were our must-haves for us. So,
Yep.
all right. I did an interior on a Jeep and I was wiping down the roof with paint gloss and it was flaking off. I know it wasn't paint gloss or towel. Do Jeeps have a coating on it first time doing a Jeep? Yeah, that textured surface
Oh
on the
yeah.
Jeep is a coating on there, especially if it's a black one.
Hmm.
And it gets brittle and hard. And remember, you're on a
Yeah.
fiberglass style shell, which flexes different, and sometimes the paint can chip or break off. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at this. All the love for Delaney. We should have had her on today.
Nice. I know. She's probably asleep somewhere
Well, I was going to say
still.
it is a Monday morning for a college student, so
Yeah.
there are limits.
Yeah.
Limits.
Often she stays here on Sunday nights, but she did not last night. She was here for dinner, but she left. So all right, Siler Sales says, just got a chance to finally use intervention heavily last Friday during cutting and coating class. And whoa, that is a great hard cut compound, followed up by the rest of the recovery series. Yes, love it. It is one
Yeah.
of those when you need to cut, it is going to get you there.
Yes. And then finishing with therapy is so nice. That's such an easy product to
Yeah,
use. Yeah.
therapy.
The
Oh my
black pad is
goodness.
back, is
Love
what
it.
I have to say, Sid. I mean, I never used the
Mhm.
black pad or the white pad,
See,
but now that we've got therapy,
I'm a white with therapy, but the black works equally as good.
yeah,
Um, I don't know why I chose white. White or black, either one works equally as good, but it definitely I've never used a finishing pad more since you know what I mean? Like, I used to never use
yeah.
them, and now I use them all the time because of therapy, and I mean, another really quick story, the Ferrari that I did, turned out absolutely flawless, perfect. I've never seen a more perfect, uh, Ferrari, and the current owner who's selling it was messing around with it and touched and rubbed with towels that are not approved, and I had to run down there at 11:30 PM the other night, and I had to take my polisher, therapy, a black pad, and fix their touching, and it worked out great.
Now he lives 2 doors down from you, and you've done
Yeah,
all his cars. Does he not know
yeah.
better by now on towels?
Um, they may have had some cocktails, hence
Oh,
the
well,
11:30
I would have
PM.
liked to be there for that show. That would have
Yeah,
been
hence
fun.
the 11:30, and, like, I get a phone call, and it says, "Are you in bed?" And I said, "Yes," and he goes, "I need you to come down here," and I said, "No," and he goes, "No, I need you to come down here," and I could tell by the sound in his voice that I needed to get down there, and I did,
I'm
because
not
the new
sure.
owner was coming the next day.
Yeah, that's a really inappropriate text at 11:30. Are you in bed?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I mean, he knows, yeah, he knows that we go to bed early, but
yeah,
but he also knew I'd still be awake.
right. Well, you probably didn't have to know that he was watching you scroll through TikTok talk, making comments
Right,
all night. So,
yeah, yeah.
all right. Good morning, BK, or well, good evening for you, I guess, because you're a little bit ahead of us there. Um, I wonder if they do the time change in Singapore. So, Matt, putting reflect on the ultimate test on my tractor's windshield as I've been tearing it up my driveway. Tearing it. Ooh, wow.
Nice,
Extremely
yeah,
impressed. No dust or dirt. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You know, honestly, it's so like, same thing, Matt, like, I've been noticing and obviously, I mean, I love Reflect, and I've been using it and all that stuff, but it's kind of fun when you just truly get to, like, accidentally notice the behavior, and so I
Yeah.
washed my car yesterday, and I don't usually use a pressure washer, but I hit my windows with the pressure washer, and I went, "Dang,"
Yeah.
like, crazy, because it's all Reflect, right? And same thing, like, my windows just stay clean.
Yeah.
You know, I had bugs all over the front of my car, and the windshield, like, there was hardly, I mean, it's just crazy how much cleaner it helps it stay. It's really, really a great product for sure.
Yep. All right. Jeep Grand Cherokee today for me. Thanks for keeping me company while I work. No
Yes,
problem.
well, thanks for being here, Todd.
Yeah. All right. So we got the answer on the Mazda. It's the silver one, which is
Okay.
still a good looking one. But yeah, the ruby
Yeah.
red is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. Here we go. Question. As SEMA veterans, what are your
Ah.
top 3 tips for first timers?
Oh man, start loading up on the whatever you use, the emergency, the whatever you can to up your health is going to serve you better. It does seem to be first timer SEMA, for whatever reason, you just get sick. So make sure you're up on all of the health stuff, and then have a couple pairs of shoes. Kind of like, I mean, Alex, it's going to be like Monterey. I mean, you're going to be but you might be walking double the amount. Have some good shoes, have some Advil for your back, um, and then have a plan. So kind of make a plan. You'll get overwhelmed very, very quickly. So have a plan and go, okay, this day, and you're obviously going to want to start in the West Hall because that's where all the
Mm,
cool people are. So Tuesday, plan to spend the whole day in the West Hall.
yep.
Then, Wednesday, Thursday, I don't know how long you're staying. I think you're staying the whole week, but plan which hall you're going to do those days. And then if you finish that hall and you have time, you can wander, but don't try to like walk around with no plan. That will
Yeah.
be the death of you. So have a plan on what you're doing each day. Um, but Tuesday, I would plan to spend the whole day in the West Hall. It will take you that long to get through it. But also just because you're going to be stopping and talking to a lot of booths in the West Hall. Um, and then, but that's pretty much it. Have a plan, be healthy, good shoes. Those are
Yep.
my 3 tips.
And mine will be make a plan. Well, not make a plan, but decide what you want out of SEMA this year. Now, look, you can just go be a car freak tourist and just go, I want to see the show. Great. But if you have a plan, and what I mean for that is what you want out of the show,
Yeah.
SEMA has probably the best education track on the planet, but you have to make a conscious decision to go take some classes if that's what you're going to do. If you want to go look for a new product or solve a problem, go there with a goal, or at least decide that what your goal is. And I would say, I agree with Sid. The shoes thing is big. 2 pairs of shoes. Make sure you have a room that has a refrigerator, because you actually stick your shoes in your fridge the night before. It makes a huge difference. It's a trick I've used for years. And then the last thing I would say is leave a day to be a SEMA tourist. In other words, go do all the stuff you're planning to do, get your stuff done, but leave a day to go, just going to walk around, or I'm just going to go back to booths I wanted to go to before, whatever it is. And the other thing that goes with SEMA is you used to be able to get into a show called Apex. So if you are trying to resell stuff out of your shop, you should go to Apex, and you can look that up. So yeah, Sid said bring your health stuff. Lip balm, you're talking a lot.
Oh
You're
yeah.
dry, cracked lips. And the
And
other
throat
thing is
lozenges,
yeah, and
cough
drink a
drop.
lot of
Yeah.
water
Yeah.
during the show as well as after.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the other thing. People go out a lot at night, and a SEMA day isn't 9 to 5. A SEMA day for us starts at about 7 a.m. We get to the show floor by
Yeah.
8,
Yeah.
and then we don't really get back to our rooms until between 9 and 11 p.m. So it's literally a 14-hour day, and we do it 4 days in a row. Well, 5 if you count
Mhm.
Monday. So
Yeah. Yeah.
all right. Ron says nothing today. Monday's my day to go to do my estimates, sneak peek at what I'm working on. I love that. I have a
That's
North America
awesome.
coat, a bass boat, and my cousin's
Nice.
brand new Silverado this week.
That's awesome, Andy.
Yeah. So you want to
Very
talk
cool.
about a carpet or fabric that is hard to get clean sometimes is the bass boat carpet, because
Yeah.
that's a weird surface.
Yeah. Yeah. BK says stout is awesome. Super slick gloss, super durable. Yes. And you know what I love is that, I mean, stout did make a big splash in the industry, but now we're really starting to hear about it.
Yeah.
And like when I was at Connor's on Saturday, I mean, I think we have most of Boise switched over to using stout, which I love. So many detailers came up to
Yeah.
me and said, "Oh my gosh, I love stout." I even had a couple enthusiasts that had put it on themselves. And I mean, that's all anybody wanted to talk about. Right when they walked up to me and saw that I was there, they just wanted to talk about stout. And I loved that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, and we were at BK's this year, and we did
Hmm.
the next day we had the car in, and we broke the
Hmm.
24-hour, 48-hour rule, but hey, we were
Yeah.
truncated time frame.
Yeah.
We frostbited the car, and we rinsed it, and then we
Hmm.
washed it with Radiance, and oh my god,
Yeah.
at that point the mid is just flying off the car. So
Yeah.
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 Um, all
Very
right.
cool.
Well,
Mm.
you're absolutely welcome to have coffee at my house.
Don't tempt him with a good time.
I know, because you know what I'll do if it's not raining? We will go out and fire at the campfire and have coffee by the campfire in the morning.
You know what, Alex? You get like a 2 for 1 at Keith's house. You not only get the forest views, but you also get the beach views. So you've got definitely the forest in its natural habitat. You've got
Mhm.
Sasquatches, and then you've got a pool with palm trees all in the same area. So you get kind of two worlds in one. It's pretty great.
It is counterintuitive. Depending on which direction you're facing at the fire, you can either see the
Yeah.
forest or you
Right.
can see the tropical vibe of the pool area. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's its own special thing.
I think
Um,
Keith's house is the only one in Oregon with palm trees. That's
and
pretty
they
cool.
do fine, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but we are in self pruning season here in Oregon, which is when it starts to really rain, the trees get heavy, and then those branches. So my oak trees were deciding to self prune this weekend. So I'm doing a lot of tree cleanup this weekend.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, rehab on a black vet. Well, you can't beat that. And black vet paint is finicky for sure. Orange pad,
Yeah.
speed 4, slow arm speed. Shocked me how it finished down so well. Yeah, that's the beauty about rehab is it really can just finish out and be
Mhm.
done. So
Mhm. Yeah, I love his last sentence though. And most of all, the effortless wipe off makes me giggle. It still does me too.
yeah.
It still does me too.
Well, and especially on black paint, because sometimes if you got to wipe it off really hard, you actually remar the paint by wiping off the paint. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Love it.
All right. We were uncomfortably close.
Man, I wish it was me, Matt. I wish it was me. He's talking about Jason Kelsey.
I know.
Okay, I just want to make sure we were all on the same page.
All right. Sydney, what is a detailing tip you have learned from your daughter that has helped you the most?
You know what? I'm not going to lie about this. This is such a great question. It's that A grade towels are better. So for years, I suffered with first Costco towels, and then I suffered with B grade towels from the rag company because I'm local. And so years ago, the rag company had this program called B grade. It was all the ones that didn't pass the quality control test. So for like 4 years, I used nothing but B grade towels. Well, Delaney, who was like 11, did not like the B grade. She wanted them folded into a perfect square, which I know a lot of you guys totally get this because I see it all over the internet. Like, don't have your towel in a bunch, right? You like the perfect square folded towel. I still am
Right.
not very good at it. And so the B grades never bothered me, even though I am like a very in a box type of person. But it was just how I started. And Delaney, when she was 11, she said, "Could you ask Jeff to make his towel edges," she's speaking about Jeff Hennon, "could you
Right.
ask Jeff to make his towel edges meet up?" And I go, "Well, Delaney, these are B grade. That's what they don't do that." And she goes, "Well, would you buy me some A grade?" She was like literally 11, 12 years old. And so what I've learned from her is that you should use A grade towels. Like I like a good square, nice, perfect towel now. Like I'm very, very much a towel bougie as bougie can be. I like a good towel. So that's what I learned from her.
But I will also say that is absolute proof that Sydney was not always the bougiest detailer on the planet. She's grown into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Delaney started out that way because she didn't know any different. So I thought it was funny on the podcast they asked her, well, did you ever have to use chemical guys? And she was like, "Nope." She's like,
Mom
"Nope,
did.
I've never had to use any of that crap." And she meant like all crap, not the chemical guys was crap, but she meant she never had to use anything before PNS. I thought that was funny. Yes, rip to the Bucky VW pressure wash surge. He got himself a new pressure washer
What'd you
and got
get?
it installed, and so he doesn't have his pressure washer issues. What I'm gonna destroy the name.
Is it an
I
AR or a Kranzel?
Yeah, no, an AR. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. All
Okay.
right.
So
Andy,
Skilly
I
is all over
used
this thing.
Yeah, so he used a stout on the black vet. So he switched all the way everything up, right? Ended up polishing off 3 small high spots that I found in intricate areas, but I didn't recoat those areas. Is that okay? So if you used therapy, you're fine.
Yeah.
So that happens all the time. If you used rehab, I probably would have put a little bit more stout on, but I've done therapy and not worried about it. So
All right, we got cheerleaders. Hey,
Steve
Steve is going to be
Pearson.
at SEMA this year
Woo!
too, so I'm super
Yes.
excited to see the guy. Steve, you just need a
Yes.
shirt with your logo that's like this big square on the center of it.
Yeah.
I think that would just be the best shirt ever. You bring me
Yeah.
that shirt, I'll wear it on one of the days of SEMA. There you go. Challenge thrown out there. Have a great week. We finish up October. Got to run. We will see you all at SEMA. Detailers come out
Nice.
to our Tuesday night event
Yes.
at the IDA.
Thank you for
Yes.
mentioning that, Kirby.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot going on Tuesday night. We got to cover the SEMA schedule too, so we got to make sure we hit that.
Yeah.
All right. Sarah says, I didn't even use wipers with Reflect. Well, that's
Yeah, often you don't have to, yeah.
that's going to be a
Pretty cool.
divorce topic in my house at some point because I never use my wipers. I've got view on my windshield and I just don't drive with my wipers on, right? And it drives Lisa crazy. So
Yeah.
we either have to take separate cars or I have to use the wipers when she's in the car. So
Yes. All
all
right.
right, Reflect is helping me
Joe.
get to the finish line with window cleaning. Yeah, it does. What a great product.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah.
just really adds that final pop. Yes, Steve, not going into the office this week. Just try to avoid getting sick. Amen. Yeah, you guys will be fine if you're on top of it. You know, have the
Yeah.
hand sanitizer. Joey had 17 days of COVID last year, which was such a nice souvenir from SEMA. Well, truth be told, we got the original COVID in 2019.
At SEMA.
I think that's where it started, to be honest.
Yeah.
We all came home with COVID before COVID was a thing, but now we now know that it was absolutely COVID based on I've never been sick like that in my whole life. Almost died, literally.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, SEMA can be rough. You got to make sure you're really on top of and it's a very huggy, touchy event. So if you don't like it, if you're not a hugger, you shouldn't go.
Wear your bubble
'Cause
suit. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Thanks, man. I don't know what that's about, but on the question. Got it.
A
All right.
question, yeah. Oh,
Any more
Nathan Warren,
safe
look at
travel,
you.
friends? See you at
We'll
MTE.
see you at
Yes.
MTE. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Coffee and
Corey
campfire.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Quality car care coming in strong. All right. I assume this is
Nice.
Tony. I just got Reflect. Amazing product. Love it. Can I use stout on windshield? No.
Ooh, no, no. So,
No.
ooh, so a lot of coatings you can use on glass. They're not, I really would use a glass dedicated coating, but stout, not friendly. It just smears all over because it never even tries to bond. So it just smears all over. There's about a 93% chance you're going to leave a high spot. Um, I last week was working on top of a car doing stout, and I thought to myself, I'm just going to put it on the sunroof. Like, how bad can it be?
Bad.
It was bad. Don't do it. Yeah, don't use
It
stout on
was
a glass.
Archie
You'll hate it.
knocking coffee cups off the counter. Bad.
It was not good. Yeah, don't use it on glass. It just does not like glass. It just smears around and it will absolutely leave a high spot.
Well, we got
For
this
sure.
great product called View glass coating that you can use for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I would use.
Yeah.
All right. Here's
Yep.
a great question. The matte finish care has been discontinued by PNS. Yes, it has. We've gone through some SKU rationalization. That's one of those that just really there wasn't a need because we've evolved with product. People are asking, what do we use on matte finish? And our answer is
Stout.
and if we
Or
don't want to use a
Defender.
coating, Defender. right?
Yeah, Defender works great on matte as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
either one. But I've had a lot of success with Stout on matte paint, like the frozen finish,
Yeah.
really, really good. Um, I'm struggling with that Escalade that I put matte, or that was matte PPF that I put Stout on, really struggling with it. But come to find out, a detailer went and washed it and used a wash and wax. That didn't play well. And so we've got some issues there, but really great on matte. And
Yeah.
Defender, if you don't want to do a coating, Defender works absolutely phenomenal on matte
Yeah.
paint. So,
Yep. Defender's my answer for that,
mhm.
for, for a temporary product, if you will, some not permanent
Yeah, if
product.
you're looking for
Okay.
something in place of the matte protection, for sure, just Defender is great. Just make
Yeah.
sure you work it all the way in. Use an FTW.
Yep. All right. Yes, I used therapy on the
Yes,
high spots. Who relieved? Yeah,
perfect.
Andy, we knew you'd make
Perfect.
the
You're
right
good.
choice. Yeah.
Oh,
Challenge
you're getting a
accepted.
shirt.
I love it.
You're getting a
I'm a
t-shirt.
large. I wear large.
Yeah.
Sydney, can you talk about your wipe off methodology using stout, specifically the creatures, using the
Yeah.
fluffy side or the short side, flap side? What do you use?
Yeah, so I always use either a Rip and Rag Pearl, so the Ultra Rip and Rag is my number one, or I use a 365, so GSM 365 as towel number one. That's my leveling towel, and then I always use a creature for number two. I like the fluffiness of the creature, but it's still pretty stout to do the job, and I use the long side. You certainly could use the shorter nap side, but because I am able to get so much off with my first wipe, that second wipe is really just really buffing off anything residual. So I don't use anything fluffier than a creature, though. I will say that. And I think that's why I like the creature. It's fluffy enough, but doesn't cause static. It
Yeah.
doesn't create a static barrier. So I really love the creatures because I really love that they're soft enough that, and because we do have to push, I like that it's really nice and fluffy. So that for me is my favorite combo. It doesn't mean it's the only combo, but I definitely am always a creature for number two. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fluffy side.
All right. Favorite product to cut through mildew that has accumulated in small panel gaps and crevices. I had a couple of tough cars that live outdoors and under shade. Yeah. And if they're there and they don't move much, it's a problem.
Yeah, yeah. So I generally PNS makes Babe's Boat Care as well. There is a mildew buster
Yeah.
in Babe's, so that would be my go-to, but not a lot of people are going to have that in your cabinets. So the other one that you can use is actually Finisher.
Mhm.
Finisher works really great on mildew. So you would want to go through your whole cleaning process, maybe crystal wash for sure. And then if you still have some residual, I would figure out how to get the Finisher
Yeah.
to attack that part. But Finisher is going to do a great job on mildew as well.
Yeah, and if it's a white car and you've got like the mold spores living in the paint, one of the things I found that's really great for that is to pre-soak with EnviroClean, do your
Yeah,
wash
yeah,
process,
yeah.
and then use the finisher. And it's Mildew Master is the product from Babe's Boat Care, and it is available in a gallon. Nothing bigger than that, though. So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah. All right. The best reaction from Delaney was when TRC was there, and she says, like the drying towel, man, not a
Yeah.
fiber, just pure and onset. Yeah.
Yeah, she does like the drying towels from Auto Fiber. Delaney is like me. She's a fan of both, right? And so she was nervous how to answer, but we use towels from both, but she does
Yeah.
prefer the drying towels from Auto Fiber.
Yeah. All right. Last two comments here. I really had to lean on Sid last week. I hate reaching out and bothering you. I know you're busy, but oh man, I so appreciate you guys.
That's
Not,
what we're here for, Andy. That's what
yeah,
we're
that's
here
why we
for.
do this. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. All
We
right.
are here for you.
Ron, just took paint measurements on CX90. Holy thin paint bat, man. Highest reading was 80 microns.
Yeah.
How many mils is that? Is that 4 mils? No.
Probably. No?
Is it 30 microns to the mil? I forget. So,
Huh. Well, just be careful. I think that's where it helps to just do, one step and
Yeah.
You'll be fine though, because Mazda paint's really, really favorable to work on.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing, is that you shouldn't have to work too hard at it. And great that you're putting stout on it, because that's the best coating for thin paint. It really is. You want the
Yeah.
highest level of protection.
Yep. All right. We're at the end of the show. So what do we got to know is where are we going to be next?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guess between now and our next show, which is the Monday after SEMA,
After. Hmm.
which we'll have some special guests on for that show, as
Hmm.
always, but
Hmm.
TBA.
Yeah. They don't know it
We
yet.
They don't know it yet. We don't know it yet, but it's going to happen. Well, we kind of got a freewheel through SEMA to see what we really need to do for the week after. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um, where we're going to be next is we're going to be home for the week because we're going to be
Hmm.
gone for a week. So
Yeah.
we all get to SEMA. You get there Monday, right, Sid? So
Hmm.
you're doing
Yep.
our
Monday
setup
morning.
and prep. I am
Yep.
in it. Oh my God, it's early on Tuesday morning, and we're
Yep.
there for the week of
Yep.
SEMA in the booth. So
Yep. It's going to be great.
yeah.
Excited about it. So, yes, we'll be there all week. You'll be able to find us. And let's see, what are we most excited about, and what are we planning for?
Well, we have the ATG cocktail party in our booth, which I have
Mhm.
advocated for this with Bob for years. Is we should have a bar in our own booth, and we're finally going to
Mhm.
get one on Tuesday night. So, all joking aside, it is an industry level invite. So if you want to come to that, hit me up, and we'll get you a link to RSVP, so we just know you're coming. And that's Tuesday, 4 to 5 in the ATG PNS 3D all
Mhm.
brands booth there. And then right after we go to the IDA meet and greet in the West Hall this year. Again,
Yep.
that's a win for the
Upstairs.
IDA. It's
Yep.
upstairs. And then
And
Wednesday.
I want to talk about the IDA meet and greet real quick. So, definitely, like, because we're, Josh and I are both board members, we know what that meet and greet has in store, and it's actually going to be great this year. So, lots of fun giveaways, great people, but the first 200 people through the door get a very cool t-shirt that was designed by Mr. Josh Pierce, which, if you know him, you know that he is like the master of all gear. And so, the t-shirt, it is really cool. So definitely, try to get up there early. You're going to want one of those t-shirts, and say hi to everybody. But it's always a well attended event.
Yeah.
So I definitely encourage everybody who's going to SEMA, whether you're an IDA member or not, it is open to everybody. You do not need to be an IDA member to attend, but come check it out. We'll all be up there. We'd love to see you up there too. So definitely check that out.
Yep. And then we have Rennie's party is on Wednesday, and
Mhm.
that I forget where it is, but he's got it. It's all over the internet, so you can find out where it
It's
is.
at the Golden Spike?
Golden
What's that
Spike.
called?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah, it's on Las Vegas Boulevard. Yep.
yeah. So, and that starts after SEMA on Wednesday.
Mhm,
Shout out to Justin Day, who's still doing his party on Tuesday night as well. Details of Las Vegas.
mhm,
I don't know of any other major industry events related to the rest of the week, but we're not really
mhm,
tuned in on that ourselves. There will be probably a sighting of Team PNS at Blueberry Hill sometime during the week. We can guarantee that. We will be well caffeinated as well.
mhm,
But we're looking forward to SEMA. It's going to be a good year, good event.
mhm,
And then the following Monday, we've got Bead Maker and Coffee. And then the
mhm.
Friday after that, I will be in Southern Oregon and in Coos Bay to do
Mhm.
a stout coating class with Tom Wallace, our distributor. And then did we set the date for
I
the other
thought,
one?
yeah, it's gotta be that Saturday. Yeah, so it's like whatever, that 21st, 22nd. So the
Okay.
next Saturday after
So the
you're in
following
Coos Bay.
Saturday, we will be in
Yeah.
Boise doing
Mhm,
a stout coating class at MVP Detailing.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
look
Yep.
for that as well. Plenty on the schedule for the rest of the year. We
Mhm.
are not shutting it down come the day after SEMA. We got stuff to do, so we're going to keep
Yep.
plowing ahead with our year. All right, Sid. So, what are your top 4 things that you were packing for SEMA this year?
My fragrance bar.
Okay.
That. Um, Lots of cough drops, throat sprays, all that kind of stuff that we were kind of already talked about, all of the medicinal things. Definitely Fat Joe, and phone chargers. This is a big one,
Yes.
because the Wi-Fi is so terrible inside SEMA, but you need it because you're posting, right? And your phones die twice as fast as they do during your normal daily life. So make sure you have like battery chargers. So I always take a lot of battery chargers, and then we already talked about a couple comfortable shoes. I always pack too many clothes because you think you're going to get to go change and you don't.
Yeah.
So, just pack enough clothes for each day, but don't think you need like nice outfits for the evening. You never get a chance to change. So yeah, so for me, it's going to be, you know, we don't want to forget Fat Joe. We might have all the Fat Joes there.
It'll be a Fat Joe
And
reunion. I'm bringing this guy. I'm
yeah,
bringing some sauce just in case.
there you go. Yep. And then the fragrance bar, long shirts. Oh, I do want to mention that too. It is actually cold inside the halls. So it may be
Yes.
kind of nice outside. It is freezing inside the halls. So, like for me, I usually wear long shirts underneath my polo shirt every day. So have a collection of clothing that, for different
Right.
temperatures. Um, for whatever reason, the week of SEMA is always like the turn of the weather in Vegas. It's not really ever very hot.
No,
Um,
very rarely. We've had a warm afternoon, but we don't get
yeah,
outside until 5 o'clock. So
right. Yeah,
usually at Vegas, it's low 60s on a good day and
yeah.
mid 50s by the time we go out at night. So jacket is definitely a must.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the shoes. Shoe rotation, shoe game is important at SEMA just because you're on your
Yeah.
feet all day. I am
And
bringing my iPad, which
yeah,
is got its own phone connection, and I got
yeah,
to tell you, if you are trying to do any computer work and you need the bigger
yeah,
screen, you need to have its own kind of internet connection or
yeah, yeah.
wireless
Trying
connection.
to use the Wi-Fi is pretty sketch.
Yeah.
Um, oh shoot, I just thought of something else. What was it? What was it? Shoot. Oh, bring a bigger suitcase. So don't overpack your suitcase, because though, like seriously though, like Alex, Steve, like I'm thinking of the guys who are coming that maybe it's your first time. You're going to go home with a lot more than you left with. So save room in your bag. Even if you carry on the way, plan to check on the way back, because this is like a true thing. Like there's a lot of booths that come Thursday, Friday. They don't want to ship stuff back home. And so I remember my first couple of years at SEMA, I mean, I came home with full collections of stuff. So
Yeah.
save room in your bag for, giveaways, things you might buy, things somebody may give you. So don't pack solid on your way down there. And if you do, use a bigger suitcase.
Yep.
Definitely.
Or your other option is take a second bag that, basically
Yeah.
like a duffel bag that you can stuff into your main suitcase. And then when you're getting ready to go home, you got the
Yeah.
extra piece of bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is totally true, Sid. You definitely, whatever suitcase you think you need, bring a bigger one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I can't tell you
Um,
how many people I've seen have to buy the $80 SEMA suitcase and just to get stuff home. So,
yeah, yeah. And then that kind of defeats the purpose of getting all the free stuff.
right.
I think the other thing to really bring is bring a system to take good notes for the
Mhm.
week for yourself. Whatever it is
Yeah.
you're going to use it, stick
Yeah.
to it, whatever your process is. I got to say the notes feature on the Apple products is a really good feature.
Yeah.
Whether that is a tablet thing. What I
Mhm.
will tell you is the pencil writing on a tablet or something is not efficient when you're trying to walk around the show. So probably
Mhm.
trying to keep a note system on your phone is your better answer.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
because you're not going to remember everywhere you stopped and everything you did. So
Right.
taking a
Yeah.
picture and putting a note with it is a really good way to remember what you were there for and what you talked about. So,
Mhm. Yep.
and then the other thing to get, and Sid, you introduced us to this a couple of years ago, is get a dot card. Get
Yeah.
a dot card or share or get your phone set up so you can share your
Mhm.
contact info.
Yeah.
There is getting 1,000 business cards is kind of a mess. The
Mhm.
dot card system to capture people
Awesome.
is an
Yeah.
awesome way to go.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
highly recommend that. Uh,
Yeah.
And for those who don't have your own badge, in other words, you're there using, on the sponsorship of another company, you never know where that info is registered to when you scan the badge. So
Mhm.
making sure that they have a way to get to you if you want something from a vendor is super big. So
Yeah.
we want to talk to you. And if I scan your badge and it says Peter's Paints and you don't know Peter, it doesn't do us a lot of good to get you the information you asked for. So we want to
Yep.
help you guys out by getting you the right stuff.
Yep.
I think that's it. Wow,
Yeah.
quick
Yeah.
show. What do you
We
do
can't
planned
wait to see
today?
everyone. That's for sure. I can't wait to see everyone.
Yeah. What do you got today in the shop
The Telluride.
that tell you right?
Yeah,
Okay.
the Telluride. Yep. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm taking the days off to just regroup, get my house settled for the week, get everything set up for being gone. And then Thursday, I have a Jaguar that's just coating maintenance, and
Nice.
then we'll be off. Yeah, this is my first Halloween home in a long time. I'm kind of excited about it. I haven't been
Well, I
home
was
for
gonna say
Halloween in
that,
years.
we
Yeah,
normally do Halloween at SEMA, whether
SEMA.
that's
Yeah,
Monday or Tuesday before or whatever it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
It's that overlap between the end of the month and the
Oh,
start of the month.
you know where we were last year? We were in Chicago on Halloween.
We were.
Remember that?
Yes.
Remember that? We went to the store. We weren't sure if it was Halloween or not. We were in Chicago last year. We went to Chicago right before SEMA. But yeah, it's been a couple of years since I've been home for Halloween, so
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
So, no new training stuff this year. We're not going to do our distributor event this year on the week before SEMA, just because we're kind of getting a new training center. So we're excited about that coming to fruition. So yeah,
Sweet. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today. And, watch our social media. We'll be sharing all sorts of stuff from SEMA. We'll be, giving you a sneak peek on Monday of our booth and the setup and all of that. So,
yep,
feel free to interact with us and watch everything through our stories and our posts. And um, yeah, we're looking forward to seeing everybody and just looking forward to SEMA in general.
yeah. I mean, it always seems like SEMA's so far away, and now it's
It
5
happens
6
so
days.
fast.
I
Yeah.
know it happens so fast, and then we're into the end of the year and Black Friday, and
Hmm.
all of a sudden we're at Mobile Tech. So
Yep.
it always feels like this is the end of the wrapping up the end of the year, but we never really wrap it up. We
Hmm.
just kind of hit the gas pedal and keep going. So,
Yep.
all right. So we'll have a great day.
Sweet. All
I'm sure
right.
I'll talk to you
You too.
later. And everybody, thanks for tuning in.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone.